Hey guys, for this next setup, something you always struggle with, well, at least a lot of people struggle with, the white background. Now we have white seamless paper and I want to blow out the white seamless, but without infecting the model, because if you put too much light on your background, it will reflect back on your model and you will lose detail in hairs. And sometimes you don't even need a main light anymore because it scatters all around your studio and your model will be lit only by the background. Now what I want to do is, if I have a white seamless, I want to blow it out just on the border that it's totally white, but it's not infecting the model. With other words, you can count the hairs on your model. Now there are many different ways to light the background. You can use 4 strobes, 8 strobes, 10, 12. Well, you get my drift. You can go up and up and up, and the background will be beautiful white. You can of course use umbrellas, reflectors. You can use whatever you want, but they're often a little bit expensive. Now I found something in the Elinchrom assortment that's really great. They sell this for the Vari stars. Those are the nice umbrellas you use outside. Well, these make sure that there's no light leaving the umbrella. Well, when you put them on the backgrounds, they are awesome because they will really give you a nice spread of light and you will light the background with only 2 strobes. So I put them on the new D-lights. We're going to aim them at the background and I'm going to show you how to very quickly set up a white background, and then we're going to shoot Nadine on the white background. And I give you a little bit of a trick at the end of the video. So let's ask Nadine to come in and we're going to set up the light. Now the first thing we always do in a photo shoot is meter the light. Now I'm going to show you very quickly how to make a white background, incredibly white, without infecting your model. This is the light meter. The first thing I do is incident meter reading. Now that means you use the dome, aim it towards the light source, and I have a meter reading of f16. I have to say I cheated a little bit. Everything is already set up to speed up the video. Now for the background, it's very important that you have a light meter that can do reflective meter reading. Now this is the Psychonic 758. I can twist this and now I have reflective meter reading. I just look through the light meter. That's perfect. I meter on both sides and I get 45.0. That's 3 stops higher than f16. Now let me explain that a little bit. When you use incident meter reading and you get a reading of f16, that means set your camera on f16 and the model will be properly lit, right? Because that's incident meter reading. Now when you do a reflective meter reading, you will get the value for 18% gray. Now 18% gray, that's middle gray. And you can start adding stops to that. Now if you want a pure white background, in theory you only have to add 2.5 stops. However, in practice with the modern cameras and of course with your background, we add 3 stops. But remember, that's when you meter reflective. Now if you don't have a meter that meters reflective, there's another way. You can use incident meter reading. You walk towards your light source and you add half a stop on your incident meter reading. There's only one problem. You have to make sure that you have a 100% white background. Now with reflective meter reading, the same goes for if I use a gray background, medium white, broken white, something in between, all 50 shades of gray, no problem at all. If I meter reflective, you will get the perfect exposure, 18% gray, add 3 stops and you're pure white. Now if you don't have the reflective meter reading and use incident, you have to make sure that you have a white background, add half a stop and you're done. So let's start with the photo shoot. Are you ready, Nadine? I'm going to grab the camera and I'm going to take the shot, but before that, the first shot we always do with the X-Rite Color Checker Passport. Oh, and by the way, my main light for this one is the Beauty Disc from Elinchrom with the grid. And now why did I choose this one? I love the high contrast. Now a lot of people with white backgrounds, they will use flat light. Well, I don't like that. I like this one. And because we have a very tight setup and it's very nicely lit, you will see that there's a nice dark shadow on one side and you see the vignetting on the dress because it's a black dress, really dark, and it will really get a nice contrast with the white. So we grab the Color Checker Passport for the first shot. Now it's very important that she places the color checker flat on the light, because then you have an even light, and in Lightroom or the standalone you can make a nice profile, and red is red, green is green, blue is blue, all the colors are perfect and all the color casts are gone. And making a profile, it's maybe 10 seconds work. We're first going to shoot the color checker a little bit up in front of your face. There we go. Thank you very much. Oh, and don't confuse it with a makeup box, because it's really a color checker. Okay, very nice, Nadine. There we go. Very cool. As you will go through different poses, and as you can see, there's a really nice high contrasty look. Although we have a white background, it's a very nice setup. Very nice. Okay, look a little bit more towards the light. Very nice. Thank you. So now you've seen, you can set up the white background within seconds. Use reflective metering, 3 stops up from your main light, and you're done. And you have a beautiful background. Now let's see what happens if we turn off the main light. Now you see that because we metered so correctly that the model will render totally black. And now we can play with this. And this is something that's a little bit more creative. So I don't use a light meter for this, but I'm gonna open my aperture. And I'm now on f16. So let's go to, let's say 5.6. Now why 5.6? f16 and my model is black. Now 3 stops up is actually white. 4.5 stops down, that's actually black. That's the dynamic range you meter with. So if I go from f16 to f5.6, I'm going from 16 to f11, f8, f5.6. That's 3 stops, meaning my model will now get a lot of light from the background. Now let's see how that looks. And this is getting a little bit more creative. So this is nice. Now you get a little bit of a wraparound effect. But we go even further. We go to 2.8. And now we're really into the realm of almost overexposing the model. There we go. Very nice. That's nice. Look a little bit more towards me. Chin up just a little bit. Wow. Very nice. Can you point your hand a little bit towards me? Oh, stand still. No more alcohol for you. Very nice. Okay, hands a little bit more towards me. And one final shot where you do something like this. And scream without sound. A little bit more aggressive. 1, 2. And one more. 1, 2, go. Yes, thank you. Okay, so you see, you can be creative with just a white background. And I didn't even use my main light anymore. So I'm overexposing so much that actually my white background is becoming my light source. And this is something that you can use very creatively. So, for the white background, the Fari Star reflectors from Elinchrom, very, very cheap solution. And you can light your white background with only 2 strobes. So thank you and have fun with your white background.